This is the number one mistake beginners make in their wholesale real estate journey that stops them from getting their very first wholesale deal or even getting consistent deals. What's up YouTube, it's Matthew here. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to share with you all some of my personal mistakes I made in my beginning journey in real estate wholesaling and what I hear a lot of beginners say or do that is detrimental to their success. Be sure to comment down some mistakes that you can relate to, mistakes that you're making, and different changes that you can make in your business. Like this video and subscribe. Now, the number one mistake I see beginners make in their entrepreneur journey, whether it's wholesaling real estate or whatever business they're doing, is they're not staying consistent, and specifically staying consistent in money generating activities. Now, what does that mean? So we all understand consistency, right? Just, the grind, just doing something every day, but money generating activities. What are those activities that you need to do right now as a beginner that will bring you closer to a wholesale deal or any success in your business? And so since we talk a lot about wholesaling real estate, what are some money generating activities in wholesaling real estate that you need to concentrate on? And what are some non-money generating activities that you shouldn't concentrate on? So one that you shouldn't concentrate on is forming your LLC or making sure you have this software or that software, or making sure you talk to every single wholesaler, every single cash buyer, every single title company in your area. Those are important, especially talking to people. But the most important is for you to get in front of sellers. That's the number one thing that you need to concentrate on in your real estate wholesale journey. So how do you do that? Number one is you got to market. What does market look like? Well, market is just putting yourself out there, whether that's cold calling, direct mail, and PPC, and other type of marketing techniques that brings you in front of a seller. So with me in my journey, in my beginning stages, I tried so many different marketing techniques and I didn't stick to one for no longer than 1 month. And I think that hurt my success, that hurt my journey. That stopped me from getting my deal much faster because it took me essentially 8-9 months to get my very first deal. And I think if I didn't do what I did back in the day, I would have gotten it probably in 3 months, because when I really started to do these things, that's when I got my deal in probably 2 to 3 months. What are these different things? So marketing, you need to be consistent on one marketing for 3-4 months until you try another one. If you have the capital to do 3 types at the same time, you have to be able to take inventory and a mental note that, hey, I am able to stay focused on one of these things at a time. Because you can be like, oh, I'll just try everything, but you're not focused on one marketing technique. Try to stay focused on one marketing technique so you can go far in this business. For me, what happened was I tried texting first, and then I tried cold calling a little bit. I tried different techniques, and then I picked the most expensive route. And, I was fortunate to have a little bit of capital. It wasn't a ton of money I had in my bank, honestly, but I had a good amount where I can deploy some money into direct mail marketing. And I was consistent for like 2 months. I sent out mailers once a week. I sent out mailers. And I think that really drove my success in my business because I stuck with one marketing plan and I was consistent with it. And so that actually generated me phone calls, right? Because essentially you want to put yourself in front of sellers. You want to get yourself in front of these properties, finding motivated sellers, finding distressed property. And so that's what marketing does. That's money generating activity to stay consistent with. The next money generating activity to stay consistent with is your follow-ups. You have to follow up on these leads you get from being consistent in your marketing. So if you're cold calling and you got a warm, medium, cold, hot lead, you have to be able to organize them in some sort of way. And you don't have to get fancy with the CRM. This is your beginning stages, right? That's not a money generating activity. Your money generating activity is just using an Excel sheet, Google Sheets to organize it, right? Because your money generating activity is the marketing, you're following up with the seller. So in my case, that's what I did. I just used Google Sheets and I followed up with a seller, with sellers that were interested, that showed interest in selling their property at a discount, or there was some distress in their situation or in the property itself. And so with that, I was able to just follow up with them. And now you have to stay consistent, right? Because you need consistency and the money generating activity for you to be successful. And so I would follow up with them. I'll say, hey, this is me, build rapport, bring up things that we talked about in our last conversation, show that I was listening, and just build them up until I get an appointment. Finding or going on appointments is another money generating activity. You need to be consistent. And just going back to the follow-ups, you need to be consistent with follow-ups, because if it's a hot lead, you need to be on that person's phone for 2-3 times a week sometimes. Sometimes you can, do once a week, but if it's a hot lead, you need to be on them 3 times a week, I think. And so just know those different brackets and do your follow-ups accordingly to if it's a warm lead, hot lead, or cold lead. Setting up appointments. Now, you need to constantly be visiting people's homes and speaking with potential sellers that are looking to sell, right? Because you need to understand this business. You need to feel this business, go to the houses. Now, if you're doing virtually, I understand you're not going to do that, but you're setting up appointments most likely, right? With a buyer to look at the house or an agent in that area that you're partnering with to look at that house. And so you need to set yourself in appointments. And in my situation, that's what I did. I went on a few during that time, and I got to know the seller, and I got to know what to say, what not to say on my appointments. And so I did learn a lot in this business just by going to appointments, even if I didn't get a deal. Now, obviously, being face to face, I think I don't know the stats on it, but I do feel like you're more likely to get a deal than over the phone. Yes, a lot of big wholesale corporations, they just do everything over email and phones, and they get tons of deals. But I just think that if you take one person and they're trying to close a deal over the phone versus somebody in person, I think that person in person has the edge. And so you need to make sure you're getting as many advantage to your business as possible. Now, the next money generating activity, this is about actually talking to cash buyers, and to a certain extent, you don't want to go overboard with it, because I hear people say, oh, just talk to cash buyers and that's it. No, I mean, there's a balance. Like, you need to talk to sellers too. But talking to cash buyers is vital, because you need to know what they're looking for, what prices they're going to buy these properties for. And then this is when you eventually sell the property, the rights to the property, over to the end buyer. The other thing is that you need to trust the process. I think that's the overall theme of this money generating activity, being consistent and trusting the process. Like, you may not feel like you're getting any leads in the first week or the first month or anything like that, right? But you need to trust the process, that a good 3 months, 4 months of this, you should be able to get at least leads or getting close to getting the property under contract. So trust the process. The other thing is, make sure you have some sort of capital that you can invest in your marketing so you can stay consistent. Don't quit your day job, right? Your day job can help fund your business, right? And so make sure you have a little bit of money to be able to do that. And then when you have more consistency and you have things set up, processes and systems, then you can look into quitting your day job. I would like to know, what are some mistakes that you all make in your business, or what are some things that you're struggling down below? Maybe I'll make a whole video about it. I'd like to know. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you all later.